In today's episode, we are talking about lasers. I am chatting with Bale from Just One More Project about how to create design files, building community, and the best way to learn how to use your laser. Hello and welcome to the Creative Ramblings podcast. I'm your host, Sarah. If you are a crafter of any kind, you have found a home. We have conversations with and for crafters here on this podcast, and we just share all kinds of information in hopes of helping you grow in your hobby or business. That sounds like a good fit for you. Consider subscribing. This goes live every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Central Time. Typically, at the beginning of every episode, I talk about craft deals and news of the week, but we are going to skip over that and dive right into our interview. If you want the best craft deals every week, subscribe to my newsletter. There's a link down in the description. It goes out every Thursday with deals, news, and some freebies and discount codes. Anything else I can find, I send that out to you on Thursday. Grab that down in the description. Today, I am chatting with Bale. She is the creator behind Just One More Project and the Laser Craftfest. She created Laser Craftfest, which is a virtual event 2 years ago in an effort to teach laser makers more about how to use their lasers in a fun and interactive way. Bale is a laser educator and SVG designer who focuses on laser cut files for crafters and small businesses. She is all about simplifying your path to create. Hello, Bale. Thank you for being here today.
Hello, how are you? I'm so excited to finally sit down and talk to you.
I know. I feel like in this space, we feel like we know each other really well, but we don't actually talk. So this is fantastic to have this conversation.
Here's to a real conversation.
Exactly. This is going to be fantastic. So we have known each other a little over a year with through Laser Craft Fest. That's where we really got connected. But why don't you tell us about yourself and about Just One More Project and kind of how you got to where you are?
Absolutely. So I am Bale Ansari. I own Just One More Project, which I started, oh my gosh, 6, 7 years ago. It started off as a handmade business, which basically we all sort of do, right, as creatives. And then I had kids and realized that kind of the handmade stuff was a lot of work for me with kids around. So I started dabbling into digital and really, really started loving it. And then somehow got a laser and everything changed when I got a laser. And so then Just One More Project really started honing in on the stuff that I really, really started to enjoy. And then I started selling digital files and teaching, and here I am.
It's a big whirlwind to get to this point, right?
It is definitely, and I think it was all for a reason because you learn all this stuff while you're going through all of it. But I
Mhm.
will say that we are Just One More Project, and I know exactly what we do now.
That's fantastic. And you've really found your niche with lasers. Like you share some amazing laser content and you make it like so accessible for people. So what do you like to make with your lasers?
So, as somebody who kind of had lasers fall into my lap in sort of like, a random way, I really just like to make things with lasers that like fit into my life, right? So
Mhm.
I have 2 kids, and so the majority of things that I make are like things that go along with my family. So
Mhm.
magnets for the fridge that my kids want to share their artwork with it, or little checklists or things like that that we can incorporate into our lives
Mhm.
that are made with a laser. We made a coin bank. You see it right up there. And
Oh,
so
cute.
we do all kinds of things that just fit. My
Yeah.
kids every single year get a brand new backpack tag because why not,
Mhm.
right? Um,
Mhm.
just those are kind of the things that, as a mom, that's like what you end up doing all the time anyway. So
Mhm. I love that. Because a lot of people will get a laser and think I'm going to sell something, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to do all this, which I love that. Lasers can get you there. But then you also have this machine that can make little things for your house and make decorative things and gifts and all that stuff.
I mean, I literally tell my friends all the time, you will always get a laser made gift. You know that, right? And they're
Uh-huh.
like, oh, yes, I love it. And the majority of the time, like, everyone is so pleased with something that is handmade and personalized versus like something from Target, So
Exactly.
I love it. And I use my laser almost every day to create something.
Oh, that's fantastic. And that's how it should be. And from coming from somebody who teaches others how to use their laser, it's good to know that you are using yours and you're diving in deep so that you could take that knowledge and share it with others. Mhm.
That's where just little project kind of started moving towards, because I really started realizing that as somebody who was kind of figuring it out as I go, it is so much easier to have somebody just kind of walk you through it all and save so
Mhm.
much time than it took me. Cause I think it took me like a solid 6 or 7 months to just really be comfortable with putting a certain kind of material in my laser. When
Mhm.
it could have just been like, no, do it like this and make sure you do it like this and make sure, and that's it. And if someone had
Mhm.
just told me that, it would have made my life so much easier and I wouldn't have had so much trial and error. And so I've kind of realized how how much fun it is to like teach people who are kind of just getting started all the things that they really need to know faster than it took me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because there is so much
you,
to learn with
you could
lasers.
like you kind of go through and like give people like an overall of like, here's all the things that you want to know, and it helps people make informed decisions of what kind
Mhm.
of lasers they're going to buy. And so I kind of feel like when you get a laser, if somebody could just walk you through it, that would just be
Yes.
so. And so that's kind of my jam. Love it.
And that's great because I think even if you're a consumer and you make that decision to buy the laser, you do all of your research and then it comes, it's still a little overwhelming because now it's in your house and you're like, okay, well, I had these ideas. Am I sure I know how to do this?
And like my biggest fear was burning down the house. Like
Oh my
everyone
gosh. Yeah.
always tell me, "Don't walk away from your laser. It is so scary. Don't do that." And I would just, and
Yes.
then you
Hmm.
slowly start figuring out, okay, this is how you avoid these things. I mean, obviously,
Hmm.
you don't walk away from your laser,
No, no.
you know, but like there's things that you do also to make sure that you are doing things the safest way possible, and like you learn all those things, so you are a lot more confident when you're
Hmm.
putting things in your laser. So, yeah, it's just there's so much that we've learned, right?
Yes, we have, and that's what we do is we teach, right? We're going to learn it all for you, and then we're going to go teach.
Well,
So
accidentally
you
something. It's okay. We'll teach you how to not do it.
Exactly, exactly. So you talked about making things like the coin bank or backpack charms or that kind of things. When someone gets their laser, they've made that jump, they decide to get their laser, they have it in their home. What is the best way to go about figuring out, well, I want to make that coin bank. How do I do that? Like, where do I get the file or how do I design it? What's that process like?
I think that that process starts or should start before you make the decision about what laser you get, because every
Mm,
laser comes with a software that is either like that brand software or maybe only works with a specific kind of software. And you really need to figure out what you're capable of and what you're willing to learn. So, like,
mhm,
if you're going to get a laser that only uses light burn or heavily uses light burn function, not function to operate, you have to think about what you're willing to be able to learn to. So like if
mhm,
Glowforge, for example, if you don't want to learn any kind of software and you're like, I don't want to touch this, then Glowforge has all these tools in their interface that you really don't need to learn very
yep,
much other than how to use the interface. So if that's
mhm,
something that you're like, well, I think that's what I'm capable of, then maybe you choose a machine that has tools like that available
mhm,
to you versus like Xtool. Xtool has similar kind of tools in their creative design space. And so, like, you have to sort of think, okay, I'm going to get this laser, and with this laser comes this, and I can handle this. But if
mhm,
you're going to get a laser that has a lot more robust type things, like you can add a rotary to it, you can do all the things, then maybe you might want to consider putting in some of your effort into learning a more advanced software that you can do all the things with. So I think
mhm.
that depends on what kind of laser you get and what comes with it so that you can figure out what you're willing to do.
Oh, absolutely. That is such a good point because not all lasers are created equal, even in just the type of lasers. Like we have the diode lasers, CO2 lasers, fiber lasers, and they all cut different things and work in different ways. But that software component is so important because something like Glowforge, it's web-based, it's
Yep.
easy. Like there's not a learning curve. I remember when I got my first Glowforge, they told me you would be up and running in like 30 minutes and I was. Like so easy.
so simple. And I tell people all the time, that's going to make or break your experience. Like if
Hmm.
you have a laser that your software that you're using with it is just so hard and so difficult, it's going to make you hate lasers. It's going to make
Hmm.
you be like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is so difficult. But if you have something that's really user friendly and that's like kind of what you're looking for, you're going to love it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be like, you have this idea and you put it in your software and your laser spits it out. I mean, it's gonna be such a beautiful and fun experience,
Hmm.
versus if you're troubleshooting and trying to figure out all these things, you're gonna hate it and
Yeah.
you're not gonna want to do it anymore. So that
Hmm.
is really my number one advice. Figure out what you're capable of and
Hmm.
decide what you want to go do with it.
Yeah, that is such good advice. So let's say that I've purchased the right laser. Maybe I got a diode laser because that seems to be the most common. They can cut a lot of different things,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're more budget friendly than a CO2 laser or a fiber laser. So you've got that in your house and you have something really specific in your mind you want to make. And some of these softwares allow us to, pick designs and pick things we want, but you create your own designs. And so you've taught yourself how to do this. So walk us through what somebody would do. What do they need to know to learn how to create these projects in their heads?
So this is where I love teaching people how to bring ideas to life in using their lasers. And so I usually teach people how to do this using Adobe Illustrator.
Okay.
And I've realized, so, okay, so people who really have like no background in any kind of graphic design, when they think about learning Illustrator, it's really like, oh my God, it's so overwhelming, right?
Mhm.
But like Illustrator is a massive, massive program, and there's like a cajillion things you need to learn in there. But just for laser design, there's like nine things you really need to know,
Okay.
And like if you learn and master those like nine things, and I'm just throwing out a number, there's probably like
Sure.
2 million things, sure, but like if you master those things and just understand that, you can make
Mhm.
anything. Like you can literally make anything. And I think that like I learned Illustrator years ago, and I still learn new features and new things that aren't
Yeah.
really tailored and like that are things that I can do with lasers,
Mhm.
but there's all these cool things that I'm like learning as I go. But I learned those initial things that I really needed to know to create laser designs and how to move
Mhm.
forward with that. But like you can keep learning after that. You just have to know some of the basics to really, really make some of those ideas come to life. And so
Mhm.
there's so many different ways that you can bring ideas to life. I do things with photographs. So I take photographs of like plants sometimes
Mhm.
and bring them into Illustrator. I will trace them. I will use the pen tool and draw around them, create the shapes I want. That way, you can even use like generative AI and
Mhm.
create like your own prompts and do things that way, and then create images that way. There's so many cool ways to make things, and you don't really even need to be an artist. So, yeah,
That's awesome.
totally. There's so many things, and I could talk about it forever. I just wish I had more time to actually do all the things because
Oh my gosh, yeah.
we just need more hours in the day for
I
sure.
think we all do, right? It just especially something like this, you get a laser and you take that leap to go learn Illustrator, and you could dive in for days and get really deep and learn everything.
Yes, but then you can't because you can't.
Life, right? Yeah.
It'd be great.
So that's another thing too, learn your laser software, just be willing to dive in and learn that software, but then also, okay, I want to create these designs that are in my head. They're not out there. I can't buy them. I'm going to commit to learning Illustrator and, take that time and give yourself a day. Maybe you take a Saturday afternoon and say, today is the day that I'm diving in and somebody's going to teach me how to do this.
And it's trial and error too. Like
Oh yeah.
there's so many times that you just have to give yourself grace to know you are going to make mistakes.
Oh
Well, absolutely. You're going to waste material. You will, but have, just, just make sure that you are confident to keep pushing yourself and keep trying and, have a community of some kind, find a laser buddy that can,
yeah. Mhm.
do some of these things with, it's just, it's going to help the entire process, and
Yeah.
it makes it so much more fun. I actually have a next door neighbor who I convinced to buy a laser, and it is
Nice.
the most fun thing ever because we will send random text messages to each other like, "Do you have this material? I ran out of this. Do you
Oh,
have this?" And it's like, "Yeah!" So
I love that. That because I like everybody I know that has a laser is online. Like I know there's probably people around me, but I've never like lasered with somebody in person. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, it's so fun. So, I mean, just find a buddy, and it doesn't have to be a buddy that lives next door. It can be a buddy that, just that you could send a message to and be like, is this right? And how did I do this?
Yeah.
What did I do here? And that's really going to help you
Hmm.
move forward in the process, I think, for sure.
That's great. And so many laser companies have these communities that have developed around them. A lot of them are over on Facebook, like Glowforge has communities, Xtool has communities, and they're in general they're really supportive and they're going to answer your questions. And you can find your buddy there. You can find that person that then you're talking offline.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Hmm. Oh, that's so good. And I think the general theme of this advice is taking that leap and just trial and error. Try it. You're going to get there. Give
Yep.
yourself grace. Try it out. You're going to get there.
Not an easy thing to learn,
Mm-mm.
especially, it's a laser. It's scary, right? But
Mhm.
once you figure out those specifics of this is what the laser needs from me, so I need to
Mhm.
figure out how to tell it that. And
Yeah.
yeah, and so like I figured it out. I
Mhm.
feel like that like now I just teach people those few steps, and and you guys are good to go. So it's
Yeah.
nice.
And I think that's what we need sometimes, and that's kind of what we're gonna talk about a little bit here is you're new to lasers, maybe you don't even have a laser yet, or maybe you have one and you're feeling stuck or you've had too much trial and error. Where can you go for help? And through Just One More Project, you have created a lot of different places that we can go for help. So, I mean, we're talking like Project Member, Project Academy, and even Project Week. Do you wanna talk a little bit about those and how people can get involved?
So much stuff. I don't even know
Mhm.
how I've got here. Like but there's so within Just One More Project, there's so many resources that are available that we offer that I am so excited about. We have a full blown 8-week course called Project Academy that teaches people how to design lasers from start, or design laser files. I don't know how to design lasers. Don't even ask me.
Me neither.
Yeah, I teach them how to design laser files using Adobe Illustrator, literally from start to finish. And so
Mhm.
we will go through the basics, like turning on, like downloading the software
Yeah.
to getting some full, like amazing projects with your laser.
Mhm.
So that's Project Academy. And then the whole community piece, really, really understanding the need for that and like how it would have been so nice to have people to just bounce ideas off of and people
Yeah.
to just show my projects to be like, what do you think of this? It's so
Yep.
exciting. And so that is my monthly membership is called Project Members. I do a workshop every single month for our folks in that community, and I teach them a new design skill, give them a new project to create. They will get the files for that, and then we have like all kinds of community fun stuff in there that's like just helps motivate people and just makes you feel good about doing things
Oh,
with your labor. So it's just
yeah.
it's a great community. And then Project Week is a brand new thing that we're doing this year. That kind of is our celebration to opening enrollment for project members. We don't allow a lot of people in project members all the time,
Okay.
so the doors closed, and we only open enrollment a few times a year. And that's on purpose because I want to be able
Mhm.
to focus on the people in there and not just like have people just come in all the time because
Yep.
you're in there, you're committed, you're there to learn.
Mhm.
We only open the doors a few times a year, and so we are going to have a fun celebration with a week called Project Week before that happens. And we're just going to teach you a bunch of cool stuff all week long. And every single day, there's a workshop teaching you a specific design skill and a
Mhm.
project to create with it. So if like you aren't into the whole community thing, or if you can't afford a course, this week is probably it's super inexpensive. It's $10 to jump in for the week, and
Awesome.
it's just so fun. Like, I mean, you'll get a lot of value out of it, and then you can decide where you're going to go from there. So
Yeah.
there's so
That's
much.
awesome, and that fits that need of everything that we just talked about, that wanting to build community and then finding a place to, "Hey, how do I do this?" or "What do I do here?" or "I'm stuck here. Where do I get that inspiration for creating that thing that I really wanna make?" So, yeah, I love those, and we can find like, I will link all of this down below, so Just One More Project is kind of the hub, and it's gonna take us to where we wanna go. So you and I connected I feel like it was over a year ago. You reached out and asked if I wanted to participate in Laser Craftfest. And I kind of looked up. I'm like, what is this? This is really cool. And it was just a ton of people, a ton of laser crafters that get together, make projects, and teach people how to do it. And it was the first time I did it was such a cool experience. And I connected with so many laser makers. So not only people who were teaching, but those who like learned from me. And we were still communicating. They're now in my community and they're able to ask questions, and it is such a cool thing. And it's so Laser Craft Fest is coming up again. It's actually open right now. So we're going to talk about that in a second. Um, but I like that it's free to get in the door. It's free to get in the door and like start learning. So tell us about kind of what Laser Craft Fest is, but what motivated you to start that?
And I will say it's so funny, Sarah, because you're saying that we met over a year ago, but I feel like I already knew you because I was
I
like
know.
watching your videos and stuff, and I was
Same.
like, ask her like I knew exactly.
Right? We're old friends.
That's the thing about being on YouTube. It's like
Yeah,
you feel like you know them, and you're like, I've
I
had
do.
conversations with her before in my head, so it's all
Yeah. Oh, same.
but yes, so Laser Craft Fest. So I reached out to you about a year ago, and I was so thrilled that you agreed to do it because yes, it's free. I
Mhm.
do not pay any of the speakers who
Mhm.
come on. I literally just ask them, and I really hope that they say yes because the
Yeah.
whole goal of this event is uh, and honestly, this was like a middle of the night kind of thing for me. It was like laying in bed, and wild idea, and then it sort of just came to life, and it's like my wildest dreams actually came to life. But
Awesome.
the entire event is a 3 day virtual event that's think of it as I like to say it's like Pinterest for lasers. And
Nice.
so if you have a laser and you really have nowhere to start, but if you just want to like go all in for 3 days, we
Mhm.
bring on 20 to 30 people every single time to just teach you different
Mhm.
skills, different topics,
Mhm.
different ways to make things that teach you the full potential of what it is to have a laser. I know that when I first got a laser, uh, I was like, I can engrave a cutting board. Yay. And like
Yep.
after that, I was like, oh my God, I can engrave denim. I can
Yeah.
cut felt. I can what? Like, and like, then afterwards I was like, wait, we could do cardstock in there too. And like,
Uh-huh.
it's just like, there's so much that you can do.
Yes.
And you never really know until like you see it or like you run across a video 6 months later and you're like, I can do that too. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
the goal is in 3 days, you're exposed to so much that you're like just high on inspiration the entire time. And so we want to teach you all the cool things that you can do with your laser. And each year we bring on cooler things and
Mhm.
we really
Mhm.
try to step up our game each year. So this is our fourth event that is going to be running April the 8th through the 10th. And so, yes, the whole thing is free. That is the goal. We want you to be able to jump in, get access to everything. But if you want to take it to the next level, we have this amazing upgrade that like gives you all the resources you need to
Mhm.
take it to the next level. So yes, there's only so much you can do with the inspiration. Like you can go with it and kind of like go wild, and that's
Mhm.
great. There's so many of you that have the skills to be able to take the inspiration and go with it, and that's wonderful. But then there's so many of us that maybe need someone to guide us through it all, and
Yeah.
so the
Yeah.
that entire upgrade has resources for design skills, templates for files and project files, and
Mhm.
extra like bonuses, extra discounts. We have so many partners and sponsors who just are making this event possible because
Yeah.
there's like no way we can make it for free
Yeah. Yeah.
if we didn't have help.
Yeah.
So we have so many amazing businesses in the laser community that partner with us that are giving all of our attendees just exclusive discounts and
Mhm.
offers and different things so that you have all this inspiration and then you have all the tools, the resources, and the discount codes to just go buy all the stuff you want to do. So
Yes.
I think
So
that
worth it.
it's so worth it. And
Mhm.
listen, I really try to make it inexpensive because we already know spending a laser is like buying a laser is so expensive. And then we buy all the materials for it
Yes.
and then we're poor, right? And so
Yeah. Yeah.
so the price point is it's $47 for a the ticket at the earliest price, and so it is so worth it because there's so much cool stuff in there.
Mhm.
So I just it's just I just can't believe it. We're at our fourth event.
I know.
Sometimes I have to sit down and be like, "Wait, what? Okay."
Yeah. And
It's
you
great.
keep doing it because it's so successful and people love it.
I love it, and it just fills my cup. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of it, I see people that have grown so much, and
Mhm.
I sometimes quietly cry about it because I'm so
Oh,
these people,
yeah.
they got so much out of 3 days that
Mhm.
took me like a solid year to learn, right? And so
Mhm.
just it's such a great it's such a great event. And so
Yeah.
it's if you have the time to participate in it, please come and join.
Mhm.
Sarah's going to be doing an amazing workshop for us too.
Mhm.
There's
Mhm.
so much good stuff there. So yeah,
Yeah. It's gonna be a great event, and I do it correct me if I'm wrong, but with that all access pass, you get the workshops for a longer period of time, correct?
workshops forever as long as
Yeah.
I here. I mean, I hate to say lifetime access because I don't know what that means, but like
Sure,
for,
sure.
for the life of just one more project, you will get
There you go.
access.
Which is
I
nice because
but
yeah,
I'm not going anywhere.
there are some people who can dive in for 3 days and just take advantage of, "I'm gonna just laser for 3 days, I'm gonna learn everything." But, if you have to go to work or, do anything else,
Work gets in the way.
right? You get that all access pass, and then you can come back the next week, and you could tackle maybe 2 to 3 presentations a week and really make them. Actually, sit down and make them and be inspired. You get all those resources. I had so much fun creating mine. I made something that is great for small businesses. Like if you've got your laser and you want to go try something. And so I'm excited to share it with everybody. And then all the presenters are in our Facebook community. There's some live presentations. And so we're chatting, we're talking. It's a great way to help building that community.
Because it's hard. I mean, if like I said, if you don't have your laser buddy that lives right next door,
Hmm.
it's lonely and it's
Yeah.
really difficult to be successful with it if there's
Hmm.
nobody around to cheer you on and
Hmm.
motivate you with it, you know? So having the ability to have access to a community like that is just it's so good. Just take advantage of it. I promise you will enjoy it. We have
Yeah.
all kinds of goodies and fun things that we throw out during the
Hmm.
2 days of our event, and it's a whirlwind. You'll likely see me mess up live and break something, but it'll be so fun. So we're just gonna do it.
It's real. It's real, right? It's not all this polished and, it's just us and we're doing our laser thing and we're doing it with you and you can come along with us.
Yes, yes,
Mhm. So, hopefully, the goal of this conversation today was to kind of ease those new laser users into, yes, you can do this. Yes, you can use your laser. You can design. But we can't always do it by ourselves. And so, seek out that community, seek out those tutorials, seek out project members, Project Academy, Laser Craft Fest, get into those and you're going to find that community and you're going to find that that motivation and encouragement to just go and create.
yes. That's
Mhm.
cool, and you can trust me.
Yes.
I graduated with a degree in social work. I mean, it
Nice.
has nothing to do with what I'm doing right
You
now.
weren't
I
laser trained.
don't know what that is. Is
Yeah,
there? Like,
right.
I don't even know. But like,
No.
Uh, if I can do it, you guys can absolutely do it. And I there's so many projects that I am so dang proud of that I
Yeah.
can't believe that I've created. And
Mhm.
you can too. Absolutely you can too. So there's yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's good.
And we wanna be there to cheer you on. So, I am gonna share everything that we just talked about down in the description so you can find Just One More Project, and that's gonna take you out to all these different projects. You can find Bale on Instagram, and then I really want you to grab your free Laser Craft Fest ticket. Registration is open right now, so links down in the description. Just go grab your ticket, and you can upgrade to that all access pass right away. You can think about it for a couple days, come back and upgrade, but it's gonna be an awesome event, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And we're giving away so much cool stuff. All of our partners are giving away some really stinking cool prizes, like
Yep.
lasers, like supplies, like all the things that you could need. You could, I mean, it's good. So just,
Mhm.
I mean, if you already know how to do everything, just join us so that you can enter to win some fun prizes.
Do it for the giveaways. Do it for the giveaways. Absolutely. And so just go get your ticket, get it, and then we will hang out and we'll chat April. Yeah, April. I almost said August. April 8th through the 10th, not August. It was wonderful talking with you today. Thank you so much, and we'll chat soon.
Bye, everybody.